Lionel Messi once called Michael Jordan the greatest athlete of all time. Not the greatest basketball player, the greatest athlete, period. At the time, it sounded like one legend tipping his cap to another. Watch Messi right now, at 39 years old, in his sixth World Cup, and that quote stops sounding like admiration. It starts sounding like a description of what he's about to become. He's the all-time leading scorer in World Cup history. He just set the longest goal-scoring streak the tournament has ever seen, and he's one win away from something almost nobody has done in 60 years. But this isn't a highlight reel. This is about a warning Michael Jordan gave the world 30 years ago, and how a 39-year-old from Rosario is proving it right kick by kick. The miss that started everything. Let's start with a miss, because that's where this story actually lives. Early in Argentina's group game against Austria, Messi stood over a penalty with a chance to become the outright greatest goal scorer in men's World Cup history. He'd already equaled the record, one kick, and it was his alone. He put it wide. Weeks later, in the round of 16 against Egypt, it happened again, a second missed penalty, making him the first player ever to miss two penalties in a single World Cup. Across his whole World Cup career, he's now converted just 4 of 8 from the spot. Missing is, statistically, the one thing Messi does almost as often as scoring from 12 yards. Here's the part that should stick with you. Both times, he answered in the very next sequence. Against Austria, he beat the goalkeeper minutes later to break Miroslav Klose's all-time record outright. Against Egypt, Argentina came back from 2 goals down to win anyway, with Messi pulling the strings. That pattern, fail publicly, respond immediately, is not new. It's the exact shape of Michael Jordan's career, and it's where this comparison actually starts to earn its keep. Jordan's rule. Jordan missed more than 9,000 shots in his career. He lost close to 300 games. 26 times his team trusted him to take the shot that would win the game, and he missed. None of that is the headline of his career. It's a footnote, because Jordan built something more durable than a highlight, a pattern of getting hurt in public and getting even in public on a schedule nobody else could keep up with. Jordan said it himself, in a line that's become almost a cliche because it's so true. Greatness isn't a fixed thing. It evolves. It has to, because the body carrying it doesn't stay the same. That's the warning. Not Jordan was undefeated. He wasn't. The warning is that the players who last are the ones who figure out how to keep winning after their first version of greatness stops working. Messi is in exactly that phase right now, and so is this next comparison. The fadeaway. By the mid-90s, Jordan's first weapon, pure athleticism blowing past defenders in the air, was gone. The Pistons had spent years making sure of that. Every team after them copied the blueprint. Put a body on Jordan. Make the air above the rim someone else's territory. Jordan's answer wasn't to fight for the old version of himself. He moved his game closer to the basket and built the fadeaway, a shot that needed zero explosiveness. You couldn't out-jump him for it, because he wasn't jumping at you. He was creating just enough space from a near standstill and punishing you for ever thinking distance would save you. Messi's version of that shift is less cinematic but just as deliberate. He said it plainly himself. In recent years, he's gotten used to dropping deeper, picking up the ball from midfield rather than starting play in the final third. That's not retreat, it's a redesign. The clearest evidence is a stat from 2019-20. Messi finished that La Liga season as both the top scorer and the top assist provider. That's not the resume of a player who only finishes attacks. That's a player who now sees the goal a full move before it happens, the same way Jordan started scoring a full step before defenders realized the shot clock had already decided the outcome. Different sport, same adaptation, same refusal to just get older and worse. Leaving to come back. After his third title, Jordan walked away from basketball entirely and tried professional baseball. It wasn't a great baseball career. It didn't need to be. It was a reset, stepping fully outside the machine that had built and then started to wear down the first version of him. Messi's version of that reset was Paris, 2 seasons at PSG that never really found their shape, in the most expensive collection of individual talent modern football had assembled. Then he left. Not to Europe's next superclub, but to Inter Miami, a league most pundits had already filed under retirement tour. Instead, he won MLS MVP back-to-back. He showed up to the 2026 World Cup sharper than he'd looked in Qatar. Miami didn't lower the bar for him. It gave him room to rebuild the version of himself that could still do this at 39. Jordan didn't fax the NBA a warning before he came back in 1995. Messi didn't send one either. He just showed up in Miami colors, then showed up at this World Cup and let the numbers do the announcing. The record nobody saw coming. Here's the number that makes this story stop being a metaphor and start being math. Messi's scoring streak at this World Cup didn't start this summer. It started in the 2022 round of 16 against Australia in Qatar. He scored in that match, and then somehow kept scoring in World Cup matches for the next 4 years across 2 entirely different tournaments without a single blank game in between. He opened this World Cup with his first career hat trick against Algeria, 2 goals against Austria, a free kick against Jordan, a goal against Cabo Verde in the round of 32, another against Egypt in the round of 16. That's 9 straight World Cup matches with a goal, a record that had stood unofficially at 6, held jointly by France's Just Fontaine in 1958 and Brazil's Jairzinho in 1970. Messi didn't just break it, he tripled the margin. The streak finally ended in the quarterfinal against Switzerland, but even that game, he didn't disappear. He set up Argentina's opening goal, his 10th career World Cup assist, in a match Argentina won 3-1 after extra time. 9 games, 14 goals across that run, 21 goals total across 6 tournaments, the most anyone has ever scored at a men's World Cup. More than Klose, more than Ronaldo, more than Müller. He is, right now, doing this at an age when most attackers are 3 years into retirement, coaching youth academies or commentating on the very tournament they used to dominate. The successor in the mirror. Now, here's the part of the Jordan story people forget because it's less flattering than the highlight reel. In 1998, a 19-year-old Kobe Bryant went at Jordan one-on-one in the All-Star game, publicly, in front of everyone, like he was announcing the changing of the guard. Jordan took the lesson personally. He won the title again that same season. The message wasn't, "there is no future." The message was, "not yet." Killing Mbappé is Messi's Kobe. He's already passed Pelé's World Cup gold tally. He's the player every analyst says will eventually own every record Messi currently holds. He is, on pure physical terms, the more complete, more explosive footballer. And yet, Messi, at an age when Mbappé's own coaches will still be a decade from finishing their careers, just kept adding to a gap that was supposed to be closing, not growing. That's the uncomfortable part of the comparison for a 27-year-old presumptive heir. Messi isn't fading gracefully into being the guy who used to be great. He is still actively in the way. What's still left? This is Messi's 6th World Cup, tying the record for men's appearances. He's now just the second player in tournament history after Brazil's Cafu to reach 3 World Cup finals. Argentina got there the hard way. Extra time against Cape Verde, a 2-goal comeback against Egypt, extra time again against Switzerland, and a stoppage time smash and grab against England in the semifinal, Messi setting up both goals himself. Sunday, Argentina plays Spain for the title, the reigning European champions against the reigning world champions, in the first World Cup final ever to pair the top 2 teams in the FIFA rankings. Argentina goes in as the underdog. Nobody's won back-to-back World Cups since Brazil in 1962. Whatever happens Sunday, it doesn't erase what's already true. A player who was supposed to have written his final chapter in the Qatar desert in 2022 just spent a month rewriting the record book at an age when his body had every excuse to stop him. Jordan's warning was never really about basketball. It was about what greatness costs and what it demands once your body stops giving you the easy version of it. Messi isn't the football version of Michael Jordan because he scored the most goals or won the most trophies. He's the football version of Michael Jordan because he's living proof of the actual warning that the players who last aren't the ones who stay young. They're the ones who figure out how to be great without it.